What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? All right, so we are about 25 minutes away from the daily close. Everything's looking good. It's a nice, healthy market right now on a Saturday. Are we going to see another green Sunday? I believe we've had 5 green Sundays in a row now for Bitcoin and crypto. So should be interesting to see what's going to happen. You would think at some point the other shoe was going to drop and we'd see red Sundays again, but lately, I mean, it's been a pattern, right? We've seen more red during the week and more green during the weekends for the last 5 weeks. What will this weekend bring? I was anticipating a bit more of a correction, at least down to 114K for Bitcoin, but so far that has not been the case. But will this daily close mark, or end a weekly close tomorrow, mark that final flush out? We're going to get into it, guys, and so much more. All right, let's look across the altcoin markets. What do we have? What do you say? What do you know? XPR still melting faces. Glimmer's looking good. Jasmy's up 2%. Algorand, Pith, Onyx coin up almost 3%. Yet there's still some DCA opportunities sprinkled throughout the market. Flux is looking good. Stronghold's looking fantastic. LCX, Sandbox, Triple V in the house. Chainlink, Gala, Manta, big difference between those two. But yet you still have DC opportunities. Songbirds, Cardonzo, AIOZ. I don't know if I'd buy Velo right now. It's been, it's Aerodrome that's been pumping. That's right. Aerodrome's been pumping like crazy. Where is Aerodrome anyways? Where is it? I thought I had it here somewhere. But anyway, Aerodrome might want to wait for a little bit more of a pullback on that bad boy. Here it is. She's been pumping pretty good, 46.8% on the month, 113 on the year, 14 on the week. So maybe you want to wait a little bit longer on that bad boy. Zooming out a little more, OKB continues to go nuts. Allegedly, they had some sort of a token burn. Must have been a massive one to drive the price up the way that it did. Mantle's looking very strong. If you'll remember Mantle, we actually dropped Mantle on the member side. When it first launched, we did that. We have to go back in our member side videos to have a look at the exact date, but we dropped that one as a gem when it first kind of dropped. Theta's looking strong. Hype is a good DC opportunity actually right now. AVAX is okay. IP. We got Monero. Not one of my favorite projects, but Monero's pumping on the day. XRP holding strong at $3.10. Not bad. Not too bad. So the market's looking good, guys. Let's go have a look at Bitcoin. Now, I have a little bit of concern with what I'm seeing with Bitcoin here. As you can see, I'll zoom in a little bit more because you can barely see it. We were above the 30-day SMA. We got all the way up to about $117,908. But if you can tell, we've wicked right down below it. We're sitting just a hair below the 30-day. We're currently at $117,349. And the 30-day is at $117,375. We are about $26 under the 30-day. That is how tight this is, guys. And we're coming up on the daily candle close as well. I fear that if we do close below the 30-day, so if we close where we are now, if we close below $117,375, we are likely going to see a little bit of a red evening. We're going to close here, probably going to come down, at least test 116.4. Best case scenario, I think that's kind of what will happen if we do close below the 30-day. If the bulls step in and push us up over top, we may go up and test 118.6. But I think it's more likely than not that we are going to close below and we are going to retest $116,444. We'll see what happens, but that's kind of what I'm marking right now. Sorry, guys, I'm really sick, so I had to mute it so I could cough there a little bit. Let's go have a look at the Ethereum chart. What is ETH doing also? Okay, let's just bring this up. All right, so looking at Ethereum, let me just zoom it in a little bit here for you guys. My mouse is acting up. All right. So unfortunately, we fell back down below this little golden pocket here, this right below 46.68. Looks like we're probably going to retest support here at 43.32, which is okay because technically, I mean, we've wicked down as far as 43.69, but we haven't technically tested this old resistance at 43.32. As you can see, it was resistance 3 days in a row here before we finally broke through with conviction on the fourth day. So it would be perfectly normal and acceptable to come back down here, test this old resistance before coming back up again, probably next week, right? So maybe we test it tonight, and then we get another green Sunday, and we end up breaking to the upside, and then tomorrow ends up closing green, right? Possible, entirely possible. So, but no matter how you slice it, if we go to the weekly for Ethereum, yeah, see, it's a stiff red candle we got right there. But look at that green one beforehand. I mean, but here's the thing: we've been spoiled on Ethereum, guys, on the weekly time frame. Look at this. Look at this. From where we started, right? We had this monster move, and then we had a bit of consolidation here. Probably, I would consider that a bit of a bull flag or bull pennant, whatever. Break to the upside here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green weeks in a row. Weeks, not days, but weeks. Then we finally had a red week. We wicked all the way back down on that red week to 33.55, and then back up again to close above support. And then we had a monster week again. So I mean, it's fine for us to have. We got to throw in a red week once in a while, right, guys? So I'm perfectly okay with that. We've been kind of spoiled with Ethereum on the weekly time frame, so a little bit of consolidation never hurt nobody, right? So let's get into some of the news, though, guys. We're gonna have a look at an interesting little metric. But first, a quick shout out to the channel sponsor, Decent Biometric Wallet. Not your keys, not your coins, guys. You can swap, take profits, and even stake right on your Decent wallet without it ever leaving your own self-custody. Use our link down in the description. Get yourself a 2-for-1 deal on the biometric wallets today, or grab yourself the card wallet. They're like $5 or something, right? So yeah, check that out down below, guys. All right, now we're burning through the time here pretty quick, so let's just go right into the metric. We'll save the other stuff for a different video. So this, once again, courtesy of Colin Talks Crypto, guys. Shout out to him. He is one of the channels I like to watch, and I don't like to take credit for other people's stuff. So shout out to him. This is a little bit of a thesis. Again, nothing's written in stone, but just another theory that he's putting out there. Let's cover it. The next Bitcoin top will be October of 2025, if we assume a 35-month measurement from cycle bottom to cycle top, right? So let's get into it. He says, I've seen some people stating the Bitcoin cycle have different lengths than those pictured in the last chart I shared, which we covered this morning, as you guys remember. If you didn't see it, very important, go back and watch it. So I measured it again myself. Cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3. Measure A, 25 months, 28 months, and 35 months. Okay? That's what he's saying here. Right? If you have a look, so cycle 1, 25 months, right here, or here's my cursor there. Now you can see it. So cycle 1, this is what he's referring to. 25 months or 25 or 37 months, depending on which arrow is used for the bottom, right? So he's referring to this arrow right here, and then there's another arrow right here. He's saying, so basically, depending on which one of those arrows you consider the cycle bottom, right? This would obviously be 37. Excuse me, got the hiccups. This would obviously be 37 months. This would obviously be 25 months, okay? Cycle 2, 28 months. So that's right here, 28 months or 35 months, depending on which arrow you use for the, depending on which arrow of the double bottom you use. So you could use this arrow here, but it's a double bottom on that cycle. So, I mean, it's really the same bottom in terms of price, but it's a couple of weeks difference, right? 28, that would be 6 weeks difference, or 6 months difference, right? Sorry. So that's what he's talking about, depending on which one you use. And then you got, you have cycle 3 at 35 months right here. Boom, right? You got your cycle bottom right here. That's what he's referring to. There's no mistaking that that's the bottom, cycle bottom, followed by 35 months. So it took 35 months, right? So cycle 1 on the high end, let's go the high end here. Okay, saying 37 months from the cycle bottom to the cycle top. And then cycle 2, or sorry, the end of the second cycle, 35 months. Cycle 3, 35 months. Okay, so now we're talking cycle 4. Measurement method B is a lot more consistent than a clean 35 months per cycle. So here's his notes for cycle 1. I've never considered the first cycle to extend all the way back to October of 2010, which it's necessary to do in order to get a measurement of 37 months, because it was like the birth of Bitcoin. So a lot of people don't take the first Bitcoin cycle seriously, because it was the very first cycle, right? I mean, obviously the volatility, the timeline, everything was crazy, right? So the 2013 cycle is questionable. A lot of traders don't really take it that seriously. Have you considered this normal? Maybe it's just me. I present it for your choice. He says the second cycle was a double bottom. So it's either 28 or 35 months from bottom to top, depending on which point of the double bottom is used. So again, right here, which one of these two bottoms you're going to use, right? I mean, theoretically, for me, it'd probably go with the first bottom as the cycle bottom. Why would you not? If it does the same bottom 6 months later, I mean, it's still the same price. So I don't know. I would consider the first one personally. That's just my opinion. Maybe you disagree. They both touch the same price floor. So I would probably go with the first one as the bottom. Third cycle. The third cycle is 35 months. The 33 month shown in the previous chart is incorrect in my opinion. So 35 months right here, right? This was the 2021 cycle. So in summary, if indeed the distance is 35 months for each cycle from bottom to top, then October of 2025 will be the next top. Assuming it follows the pattern, this chart doesn't speculate on price other than it's likely to be decreasing in magnitude, so diminishing returns, which, I mean, that's not even a theory. Diminishing returns on Bitcoin is, kind of generally agreed upon for the most part, right? So he wanted to present this chart for discussion, so very much appreciated. Colin Talks Crypto. Make sure you guys follow him again. Credit to him. So he's absolutely right. So based on the chart that we were looking at this morning that he was talking about, it would give us an end around December 22nd of this year. And based on the chart we're looking at now, based on the adjustments that he's made, 35 months from cycle bottom to cycle top would land us in October of 2025. Now, I would remind you that does line up perfectly with the average of 525 days between the Bitcoin halving event and the peak of the cycle that's happened to every single cycle as well. This lines up perfectly with that as well. And it also lines up with the potential of what the M2 money supply is doing right now also, just getting ready to break out of a bull flag to the upside, putting in that final higher high, which Bitcoin likely will follow, as there is an 80% correlation there. So, any way that you slice it, if you believe that the bull run's going to end in middle of December of this year, or you think it's going to end in October of this year, no matter how you slice it, more likely than not, this cycle is over by the end of this year. This bull run's going to be over, right? Now, there's a lot of speculation about whether it's going to run into next year or not, and I understand that. And there's some good arguments for it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to, until I see otherwise, and I could be wrong, I'm going to continue to stick to my thesis that this cycle is going to end in Q4 of this year, somewhere between October and December of this cycle, of this year. And if it doesn't, I mean, hey, I'd rather be wrong to the upside than wrong to the downside, right? So that's what I'll be watching. But I want to know what your guys' opinion is. Let me know what you think. Do you think the bull run's going to end in October? Do you think it's going to end in December? And if it does, then we are about to see some very violent moves to the upside in these crypto projects, altcoins and Bitcoin. Or are you of the mind that we are going to go into 2026? Let me know what you guys think down in the chat. And guys, listen, if you need guidance, if you need help, if you need training in this education, jump over to the Patreon. We have thousands of other members who are monstrously successful over there. We've helped 44 people now hit 7-figure portfolios, and that number is only going to continue to grow. Join the community today. We just added a new swing trade tier as well over there. If you want to participate in swing trade opportunities, we do microcap gems. We're live every single day. We've got the open mic weekends, open mic nights on Fridays and Saturday nights, hosted by our one and only crypto mom, Ramona. Check that out, guys, and so much more. The link is down in the description. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.